The morning air in Seoul was sharp, cold, and way too quiet for someone like Dinah. But today wasn't for peace, it was for content. "Baby girl, we fake it till we make it," she whispered to her reflection in her phone screen, pouting dramatically as she tied her braids into a high ponytail. Her small apartment, barely the size of a closet, looked like a disaster. Ring light in one corner, clothes everywhere, empty skincare bottles lined like trophies. But when she angled her camera just right, it looked like a luxury suite in Gangnam. Dinah was a master of illusion. She pulled on a tiny black skater skirt, a cropped jacket hugging her curves, and white sneakers that had seen better days but still looked fresh on camera. Her Stanley Cup in one hand, she grinned. "Let's go disturb rich people today," she told herself, laughing like she already knew she was about to cause trouble. Outside, the air was crisp and golden. The streets in the rich neighborhood gleamed. Polished gates, quiet lawns, cars that looked too expensive to breathe near. But Dinah? She strutted like she owned every inch. "This is my area," she mumbled, flipping her braids. "They just pay rent for me." Then she saw it. A sleek red beast parked under a blooming cherry tree. The car glowed under the sun, mirror smooth, bold, dangerous. Dinah's eyes widened. "Oh no, you're too fine to just sit here," she whispered. "We're about to go viral, baby." Without hesitation, she set up her tripod right in front of the car. Live mode on. Hey, my beautiful people," she shouted into her phone, switching into her influencer voice. "So I've been thinking, should I buy this car or the white one I saw yesterday? I'm just tired of red, you know?" The comments flew in fast. "Sis, where are you? Is that your car? You stay winning." Dinah smirked. "You already know I don't settle for small things. Life's for big girls only," she said, turning around to show off her figure as she leaned against the car door. Then she did what she did best, posed. Arch the back, pop the hip, twist the neck a little, flash the $1,000,000 smile. She climbed onto the hood, sitting delicately like a queen on her throne, blowing a kiss at her camera. "Now tell me," she said playfully, "should I change the color to gold or just buy another one?" She ended the live laughing at herself, shaking her head. "Girl, you're going to hell for these lies," she joked, wiping imaginary sweat off her brow. She turned to adjust her tripod, and that's when a deep voice cut through the air. Cold, controlled, dangerous. "Get off the car." Dinah froze. Slowly, she turned. A tall man stood behind her, dressed in a black suit that looked sharper than a blade. Tattoos curled up his neck like shadows that moved with him. His eyes, dark, heavy, unreadable, pinned her in place. He didn't even raise his voice, but something about his tone made her heart skip. "Excuse me?" she said, squinting. "I said," he repeated, stepping closer. "Get off my car before I have you arrested." Dinah blinked. Once, twice, then scoffed. "Arrested? For sitting?" She crossed her arms. "Mister, you think because you own one shiny toy you can talk to people anyhow?" He didn't reply, just tilted his head slightly, like he was studying an alien. Dinah climbed down slowly, dusting her skirt. "You know, you rich people are funny. Always angry for no reason. You can't just relax and say hi. Still nothing. Look at you," she continued, walking up to him boldly. "You think you're scaring me with your tattoos and silence? My landlord is scarier. And I owe him rent." For the first time, the man's lips curved. Just slightly. Then he laughed. Not a polite laugh. A deep, full one that echoed off the empty street. Dinah frowned. "What's funny?" "You," he said simply. "You sit on my car, insult me, and now lecture me about peace." She gasped dramatically. "You're laughing? After threatening me with arrest? You're lucky I'm saved, sir. Otherwise I'd call fire on your leather seats." That made him laugh even harder. A sound that made Dinah's chest flutter in ways she didn't expect. She looked at him properly now. His sharp jawline, his neatly styled black hair, the way the sunlight caught the tattoos that ran under his collar. Maybe he was fine. Too fine, actually. But she wasn't going to let him know that. "Anyway," she said, grabbing her phone, "enjoy your little red thing. I have better cars waiting at home. She turned to walk away, but his voice stopped her again. What's your name? Why? You want to sue me now? No, he said, smiling faintly. Just curious. Dinah tilted her head, lips curling. Curiosity killed the cat. He chuckled. Then I guess I'm willing to die for it. She rolled her eyes. Men are weird. Bye, Mr. Mafia Man. Mafia? He repeated, confused. Well, look at you, suit, tattoos, cold face. You definitely don't sell flowers, she said, waving him off as she walked away. But he stood there, watching her go, her hips swinging, her laughter echoing through the quiet street. For the first time in years, Ray June, Seoul's most feared underground boss, felt something he didn't understand. She had embarrassed him, mocked him, sat on his car. Yet, all he could think was how to see her again. And as Dinah sipped from her Stanley cup, smiling at her reflection in a shop window, she whispered to herself, Girl, you almost got killed, but at least you looked cute doing it. She didn't know that by the next sunrise, her entire fake life was about to collide with a man who never knew how to love, and who would soon learn everything from her. 3 days had passed since the car incident, and Dinah still couldn't stop thinking about it. Not about the embarrassment. She was used to that. She once tripped in a fancy restaurant pretending to be an influencer from London. So this was nothing new. What bothered her was him. The tattooed man with that slow, dangerous laugh. The way his eyes had looked at her. Like he wasn't sure if he wanted to kiss her or arrest her. She hated that memory. Mostly because every time she thought about him, her stomach did this stupid twist thing. Focus, girl, she muttered, pacing in her tiny apartment. Bills don't pay themselves. You can't be catching feelings for a walking tattoo. She opened her phone and scrolled through her DMs. Ignoring the "Hey Queen, you find messages," until one notification caught her eye. At Ray June Official followed you. Dinah froze. Ray June Official? Curious, she tapped on the profile. Luxury cars. Suits. Art. Minimal words. His post screamed money and mystery. His bio simply said, I don't chase. I find. Dinah blinked. Ah? Find who? Is it me? She said out loud, laughing nervously. Maybe it's just coincidence. Then came the message. I hope your landlord hasn't scared you yet, Miss Skirt. Her heart almost jumped out of her chest. No way. She clutched her phone like it might explode. He found me? She typed fast. Wow, you stalk people now? A reply came instantly. Only the interesting ones. Dinah bit her lip, smiling despite herself. Okay. He's smooth, she whispered, then shook her head. No, no, no. Don't fall for Mafia charm, Dinah. This is how girls disappear. Still, curiosity won. So what do you want? She typed. Lunch. Tomorrow. My driver will pick you up at noon. No cameras. She stared at the screen, jaw dropped. Excuse me. Do I look jobless to be going to lunch with strangers? You already sat on my car. I think we're past strangers. Dinah laughed so hard she almost dropped the phone. Oh, this man has jokes. The next day came too fast. She stood in front of her mirror, chewing on her lip. What do I even wear to meet a walking ATM? She asked herself. She settled for a fitted black jumpsuit, big hoops, red lipstick, and heels that said, I came to slay, not to play. When the black car pulled up outside her building, her neighbors peeked through their curtains like she was being picked up by the president. Y'all relax, she yelled. It's just work. Though even she didn't know what kind of work this was. The restaurant was one of those quiet, exclusive ones where even the waiters looked rich. Dinah strutted in, scanning for the mysterious man, and almost tripped when she saw him. Ray June sat near the window, dressed down in a dark shirt that still somehow looked expensive. No tattoos showing this time. Just those intense eyes and that calm, unreadable face. Oh my God, she muttered under her breath. He's finer than I remembered. She plastered on her influencer smile and walked over, phone in hand. Hi, you must be the one paying for lunch, she said sweetly, sliding into the seat before he could respond. He raised a brow. You're early. I'm a punctual queen, she said, flipping her braids. Also, I wanted to make sure you're not a scammer. He smirked. Would a scammer drive a red Ferrari? She paused. Touché. They ordered food, or rather, he did. Dinah just nodded when he said words she didn't understand. So, he began. What do you really do, Miss Skirt? Influencer, she said confidently. Influencer of what? Vibes and luxury. He chuckled. Luxury? You told me you live in a penthouse. She sipped her drink dramatically. Yes, mentally. That made him laugh again. That deep, rare laugh that made people stare. But Dinah was just getting started. You see, it's all about presentation. People don't care if your house is small, as long as your mirror is clean and your caption are rich. Rayjun tilted his head, intrigued. So you fake it on purpose? She leaned closer, whispering, Baby, this world doesn't reward honesty. You act rich until money gets confused and starts coming to you. He stared at her for a long moment, almost like he was trying to read her soul, then quietly said, You're the most honest fake person I've ever met. Thank you, she said proudly. I work hard at it. The waiter brought their food. Fancy, colorful, probably cost her rent. Dinah took one bite and almost screamed. Why does it taste like flowers? Did they cook this in perfume? Rayjun smirked. It's truffle pasta. Truffle? It tastes like trauma. He burst out laughing so loud the couple next to them turned. Dinah loved it. Not the attention, but seeing him loosen up. For someone so powerful, he looked like he'd forgotten how to just laugh. Then she did what she did best, started a live video. Hey my babies, she said into her phone. I'm out having lunch with this fine rich man who said he'll sponsor my skincare line. Dinah, he interrupted, low and warning. She turned the camera to him. Say hi to my followers. Rayjun's expression was priceless. Pure panic disguised as calm. Turn that off, he muttered. She laughed. Relax. You look good. Don't be shy. Dinah, he said again, firmer this time. Turn it off. Please. That please caught her off guard. It wasn't angry, it was almost nervous. She ended the live, frowning. What's your deal? You act like I'm about to steal your soul. I don't like cameras, he said simply. Who doesn't like cameras? Even ghosts like cameras. He looked at her. Really looked at her. You remind me of sunlight, he said softly. That shut her up for a second. Sunlight? Yes, you show up loud, unapologetic, and you don't care who's watching. Dinah blinked, trying not to blush. Well, thanks. You're not bad yourself, Mr. Mysterious. She started to relax again, joking and teasing him until her phone buzzed. A notification popped up on the screen. Breaking news. Seoul Mafia leader spotted at Hanwoo Lux restaurant. Dinah gasped dramatically. Oh no, look, the Mafia's here, she said playfully, then froze when she noticed Rayjun's expression. He wasn't laughing. Wait, she whispered. You're not actually. Before she could finish, two suited men entered the restaurant, bowing slightly to Rayjun. Dinah's eyes went wide. Bestie, she whispered to herself. I think I just flirted with a criminal. She shot up from her seat, grabbing her bag. You know what? I just remembered I left my stove on. He reached out, gently catching her wrist. Stay, he said quietly. Please, just stay. Something in his voice stopped her. It wasn't authority this time, it was almost vulnerability. Why? She asked softly. He hesitated. Because I haven't laughed like this in years. Her eyes softened. You're weird. You know that? Maybe. But you make weird feel good. She sighed, sitting back down. Fine. But next time, you tell me if I'm eating lunch with the Mafia. He smiled faintly. Deal. And as they finished their meal, her joking, him quietly studying her. Neither realized this little lunch was about to change everything. Because while Dinah thought she was playing pretend again, Rayjun already knew he'd found something real. Something bright enough to blind the darkness he lived in. Dinah didn't believe in fairy tales, but if she did, hers definitely wouldn't start with a Mafia boss who didn't know how to use emojis. After their chaotic lunch, she had sworn to keep her distance. She even told herself she'd block his number if he texted. But the next morning, at exactly 8 a.m., her phone buzzed. Rayjun. Did you burn your stove again? Dinah chuckled. So he's funny now, she muttered, typing back. Dinah, only my enemy's food burns. He replied instantly. Ray June. Then I'm safe. Dinah. Who said you're safe? Ray June. I like to believe in miracles. Dinah threw herself on the couch, grinning. Oh my God, he's flirting. Days passed and their conversations became a ritual. Every morning, one text from him. Every night, one call, short and calm. He wasn't talkative, but the way he listened made her feel seen. He'd ask random things, like what her favorite childhood snack was or what she dreamed of buying if she ever became rich for real. She'd answer with her usual dramatic flair. A private jet, pink, with glitter. I'll call it Slay Air. He'd hum thoughtfully. Then I'll buy the airport. Excuse me, you'll need somewhere to park it, he'd say calmly, like buying airports was normal. Dinah didn't know how to deal with that kind of money energy. You rich people talk like magic is real, she'd say, rolling her eyes, but secretly, she liked it. One Friday evening, she got a call. Dinah, his deep voice said, I need your help. Help? She repeated, suspicious. With what? You're the one with bodyguards and black suits. Exactly, he said. I have an event tomorrow. I need to look approachable. She frowned. Approachable? Babe, you look like an expensive funeral. Then fix me. Dinah laughed. Oh, you're serious? I'll send a car, he said. 10 in the morning. Before she could refuse, he hung up. Saturday morning, the black car showed up again. She climbed in, wearing her favorite ripped jeans, oversized pink hoodie, and huge sunglasses that screamed, Don't talk to me unless you're paying my bills. The driver took her to a mansion outside the city. Quiet, guarded, surrounded by trees. When she stepped out, she whistled. So this is where you hide your sins, huh? Ray June appeared from the doorway in his usual black-on-black outfit. You're late. You're early, she shot back. He stared at her. The hoodie, the sneakers, the messy bun. You look different. She grinned. That's called comfort, sweetie. Something rich men fear. He tried not to smile, but she saw the corner of his mouth twitch. She followed him inside. Everything was marble, glass, and silence. Too much silence. Where are the vibes? She asked, looking around. No music? No scent? Even ghosts would be bored here. He raised a brow. You came to decorate or to help me dress? Both, she said. Now strip. He blinked. What? She giggled. Relax, Mafia man. I meant change your clothes. He sighed, walking to his closet. It was massive, all black suits, gray shirts, and more black. Dinah gasped. You own a rainbow and still chose to live in darkness? He looked at her blankly. They're easy to clean. She clutched her chest dramatically. Father Lord, he's hopeless. Pulling out her phone, she opened Pinterest. Sit. Lesson 1. How to dress like a black man with drip. Drip. Yes, drip. Sauce. Swagger. Style. Confidence that smells expensive even when you're broke. He smirked faintly. I'm not broke. Then you have no excuse, she said, pulling out a white shirt and gold chain from the rack. Try this. Minutes later, he came out wearing slim jeans, the white shirt slightly unbuttoned, gold chain resting on his tattooed chest, and clean sneakers. Dinah's jaw dropped. Oh my God. He frowned. It's bad. It's illegal how fine you look, she said without thinking. Ray June actually blushed. Illegal? Yes, you look like the man every auntie warns us about. He chuckled quietly. Good or bad? Both, she said, circling him like a fashion judge. You're giving danger and devotion. I like it. For the first time, he looked genuinely pleased. Then teach me more. They spent the afternoon laughing. Dinah tossing jackets at him, Ray June pretending to model awkwardly while she hyped him up. Okay. Walk like you own the street, not like you're arresting it, she said, clapping her hands. He tried again, this time with a tiny smirk. There we go, she shouted. That's drip. He shook his head, amused. You're insane. Correction, she said proudly. I'm iconic. He watched her. Her energy, her laughter, her chaos, and something in him softened. For years, his world had been silent, full of orders, money, and blood. But with Dinah, even nonsense felt holy. When she wasn't looking, he caught himself smiling, really smiling. Later that evening, they sat outside on the balcony overlooking the city lights. She was sipping juice from her Stanley cup, legs crossed, humming to a Burna Boy song on her phone. "You know," she said suddenly, "you're not bad company for a scary man. And you're not bad company for a liar," he replied softly. She glanced at him. Wow, that was deep and shady at the same time. He smiled faintly. "You said it yourself. You fake things to survive." "Yeah," she sighed, leaning back. "It's easier that way. People only love what looks perfect." He turned to her. "I don't." She raised an eyebrow. "Then what do you love?" He hesitated, eyes locked on hers. "Flaws, chaos, truth. You." Dinah blinked. You're weird again." "Maybe," he said quietly. "But I mean it." For the first time, Dinah didn't have a comeback. She looked away, pretending to scroll her phone, heart thumping like crazy. To break the tension, she grinned. "You know what? Tomorrow we're taking your new look to the streets." He frowned. "What streets?" "The real ones," she said. "I'll teach you how to vibe in my world." "Your world?" "Yeah," she said proudly. "Where we buy food from stalls, argue with strangers, and dance like nobody's watching." June looked at her, amused. "You think I can survive that?" "Baby," she said, patting his shoulder. "You survived me. You'll be fine." He laughed softly, a sound she'd started craving. That night, after she left, June stood by the window, still wearing the gold chain she'd picked. He touched it lightly, thinking about her smile, her fearless attitude, her scent that lingered like trouble. And for the first time in years, the Mafia King felt something he couldn't command, buy, or silence. He felt alive. Dinah, meanwhile, was back in her tiny apartment, grinning at her reflection. "Girl," she whispered, "I think you just taught a Mafia man how to slay." She didn't know that lesson would soon cost her more than she ever imagined. If June thought he had seen chaos before, he was wrong. Because chaos had a name, and her name was Dinah. She texted him early that Saturday. "Dinah, wear what I picked. Don't argue. No bodyguards. No suit. June, that's unsafe." Dinah, "Babe, the only thing unsafe is your fashion sense." 10 a.m. sharp. By 9:59 he was waiting downstairs, looking half nervous, half excited. He had on the same white shirt, gold chain, and clean sneakers she'd chosen. She showed up wearing ripped denim shorts, a printed crop top that said, "Main character energy," and a bucket hat. "Okay, you passed," she said, circling him. "You look like money that listens to Afrobeats." He smiled shyly. "That's good. That's perfect. Now let's corrupt you properly." They took the subway instead of his car. Dinah refused to let him call the driver. "Rich people don't understand character development," she joked. "We're building yours." He stood awkwardly in the crowded train while she danced to the music in her AirPods. People stared. She didn't care. She pulled him closer so he wouldn't bump anyone. "This is what real life smells like," she said. "Sweat, spice, and possibility." He looked at her glowing skin in the morning light, the way she smiled at strangers, the way kids waved at her like she was sunshine. June had spent his whole life in quiet cars and glass buildings, but here, surrounded by laughter and noise, he finally felt human. Their first stop, Gwangjang Market. The air smelled of fried food and chili. Vendors shouted. Music blared from every corner. Dinah strutted like she owned the place. "Rule 1, she said. Never pay full price. Rule 2, if the vendor flirts with you, you're getting a discount." He followed her from stall to stall, watching her switch from English to broken Korean effortlessly. She bought tteokbokki, corn dogs, and a giant drink. "Eat," she commanded. He took one bite and coughed from the spice. "It's hot." Dinah laughed so hard. She bent over. "Welcome to Flavor Town, Mr. Bland." She fed him herself, teasing, "See, it's not poison." He smiled through watery eyes. I think my tongue's on fire. Good, she said. Means you're alive. People started watching them. The tall, serious man with tattoos trying to act normal beside the loud, beautiful black girl who kept calling him Baby Mafia. At one point, a vendor shouted in Korean, "Beautiful couple." Dinah almost choked on her drink. "We're not," she began, but Ray-Jun simply nodded and paid for their food. "Thank you," he said in Korean, then turned to her with that small smile. "What?" she asked. "You didn't correct him." She rolled her eyes. "Please, I don't have energy to argue with free compliments." Next stop was a street thrift market. Dinah loved it. Racks of clothes, hip-hop blasting from speakers, people laughing and posing. "Today," she said, "we upgrade your drip level." He raised a brow. "Didn't we already?" "That was stage 1, she said. "Now we add sauce." She threw him a pair of loose jeans, a hoodie with a flame design, and white sneakers. "Try them." Minutes later, he stepped out, and the market literally stopped. Dinah screamed, "Aya, look at my student." Ray-Jun laughed, embarrassed. "You like it. You look like you produce music and break hearts for a living." Someone nearby started filming, thinking he was a celebrity. Dinah posed next to him, pretending to be his manager. "Act natural," she whispered. "I'm wearing flames," he whispered back. "Exactly," she grinned. "Natural fire." They walked through the busy streets for hours. Dinah taught him street slang. Korean teens asked for selfies. Old women complimented her braids. She bought ice cream for them both, and they sat by the Han River watching boats glide past. "You see," she said between licks, "people like me fake luxury online because we never tasted real peace. But this," she gestured to the river, the laughter around them, "this is better than penthouses." He looked at her for a long time before speaking. "Dinah, why did you come to Korea?" She sighed. "Because I wanted to be seen. Back home, I was just another loud girl with dreams too big. Here, at least my lies made people look at me." He was quiet for a moment. "You don't need lies anymore." She gave a soft laugh. "Says the man who hides behind suits and silence." He nodded slowly. "Touché." Then she leaned her head on his shoulder, surprising both of them. "You know what, Ray-Jun? You might be my favorite mistake." He froze, then smiled faintly. "Then I hope you never correct it." They stayed like that. A black city girl who lived for fake photos, and a Korean mafia who had never known how to feel. Just breathing, watching Seoul glow under the orange sunset. As night fell, they walked back through the neon streets. Dinah couldn't stop talking. Ray-Jun couldn't stop watching her. Every joke, every little dance, every grin. She was pure light in motion. Then something happened that neither expected. A teenage boy selling bracelets ran up to Dinah. "Pretty lady, buy one for luck," he said in broken English. She laughed and bought two, one black, one red. She handed the red one to Ray-Jun. "For drip," she said. "Don't lose it." He stared at the small woven thread like it was gold. "You believe in luck?" "No," she said, smiling. "I believe in energy. And you, sir, have sad energy. Let's fix it." He tied the bracelet around his wrist, glancing at her. "Better." She winked. "Much." When he dropped her home that night, she lingered by the car door. "Today was nice," she said softly. "You didn't look like the man who threatened to arrest me." He smirked. "You didn't look like the girl who almost scratched my car." "Character development," she said proudly. He reached into his pocket and handed her a small box. "For you." Inside was a delicate gold necklace shaped like a camera. "Because," he said quietly, "you see the world differently. You make even lies look beautiful." Dinah blinked, speechless for once. "You really bought this?" He nodded. "Consider it appreciation for the woman who taught me drip." She laughed, but her voice shook a little. "You're going to spoil me, Mafia man." "Maybe that's my mission," he said softly. For a moment, they just stood there. Her heartbeat loud, his eyes unreadable but warm. Then she stepped back quickly. "Okay. Before this turns into a K-drama scene, good night." He chuckled. "Good night, Dinah." She walked away, clutching the necklace, smiling like a fool. Behind her, Ray June sat in the car a long while before driving off, touching the red bracelet on his wrist and thinking, so this is what sunlight feels like. The morning after their chaotic street date, Dinah couldn't stop replaying Ray June's smile in her head. It was annoying, very annoying. Why is this man haunting my Wi-Fi signal? She mumbled as she scrolled through her notifications. Every post she had made the previous day, from their thrift market outfits to the ice cream moment, had gone viral. People were asking who the handsome Korean man beside her was. Comment. Sis, who's the tall fine oppa with tattoos? Dinah, my Uber driver. Respect boundaries. She tossed her phone aside and laughed so hard she almost spilled her cereal. They don't know I'm flirting with danger for real. Across the city, Ray June sat in his sleek black office, the Mafia headquarters disguised as a luxury trading company. His men were talking business, but his mind was far away, stuck somewhere between Dinah's laughter and the taste of that spicy street food. Boss? One of his men called, snapping him back to reality. Yes. You've been smiling for 10 minutes. Ray June blinked. No, I haven't. Yes, you have, sir. He cleared his throat and picked up some files, pretending to focus. But even the documents blurred into her face. He tried everything to distract himself. A gym session, a call with his accountant, even a meeting with his old friend, Minna, a tall, elegant Korean woman who had secretly loved him for years. Minna was sharp, beautiful, and rich, everything that was supposed to match him. But she lacked one thing Dinah had naturally, vibrance. When she walked into his office, her perfume filled the air. Ray June, she said sweetly. I heard you were seen with a girl yesterday. Some foreign woman. He didn't look up. She's a friend. Friend. Minna raised a brow. Since when do you smile for friends? He didn't answer. Minna crossed her legs and leaned forward. You're getting distracted. She's not your type. He finally looked up. And what's my type? Someone who understands. Your world, she said softly. Not someone who takes pictures pretending to be rich. That stung not for him but for Dinah. He stood and adjusted his watch. You don't know her. I know girls like her, Minna replied coolly. They want attention until it kills them. He didn't respond. Instead, he walked to the window, staring at the Seoul skyline, the same skyline Dinah loved taking photos with. Minna frowned. Ray June, listen to me. I care about you. I know, he said quietly. But I don't need protection from you. I need peace. That was the first time anyone had ever seen Minna speechless. That night, Dinah was busy making her tiny apartment look like a movie set for another fake live video. She hung a shiny curtain behind her, put LED lights on, and placed her phone on a stack of books. Hi, besties. She waved at her camera. Today's vlog is about soft girl luxury living in Seoul. Behind her, a leaking tap dripped noisily, but she muted it with music. She twirled dramatically, pretending her cheap candle was imported from Paris. Her followers filled the chat with heart emojis. Thank you for 20K followers, she screamed. Your girl is global now. Halfway through her act, her phone buzzed. It was Ray June. Ray June. Dinner tomorrow? 7 p.m. My place. Dinah. Your place? You trying to kidnap me? Ray June. No. Just feed you. Dinah. If I don't return, tell CNN to stream my funeral. She giggled as she typed that, then realized she was actually nervous. His place? This wasn't a street date. This was serious. The next evening, she showed up in a long, silk red dress with gold earrings and curly hair down her shoulders. She'd never felt more powerful or terrified. When she arrived, the gates of his mansion opened like a scene from a movie. The house glowed under warm lights, surrounded by tall trees and fountains. Jesus, this man lives like Wi-Fi, unreachable, she whispered. A maid opened the door, smiling politely. Miss Dinah, Mr. Ray June is waiting in the dining room. Inside, soft jazz played. Ray June stood by the table, wearing a black shirt and silver chain, the one Dinah had helped him pick from the thrift market. He looked her up and down, speechless. You look incredible. And you look like you own heartbreak, she teased. Who taught you this drip? You, he said simply. They laughed and ate dinner, steak, kimchi, and wine. Dinah made jokes about the silverware. So these are the spoons rich people use to eat feelings? He chuckled. You never stop talking, do you? Silence is for broke people, she said, sipping her drink dramatically. For the first time, he laughed loudly. Not politely, not restrained, but genuinely. Halfway through dinner, Minna appeared at the doorway. Dinah froze mid-bite. Oh my God, she whispered. Is this a side quest? Rayjun stood up. Minna, what are you doing here? She smiled, her red lipstick sharp. I came to see you. I didn't know you had company. Dinah stood up too. Hi, company here. You must be the one who lost the invitation. Minna raised an eyebrow. You're quite bold. I'm quite everything, Dinah said with a smile. Rayjun tried to step between them, but Dinah wasn't backing down. Tell me, Minna said coldly. Do you even know who he is? Dinah grinned. I know he's a man who eats too slow. Minna scoffed. You think this is funny? Not really, Dinah said. But your perfume's killing the vibe. Rayjun's mouth twitched, trying not to laugh. Minna finally turned to him. You'll regret this, Rayjun. Dinah shrugged. Don't threaten him, sweetie. That's my hobby. When Minna left, the silence was thick, until Dinah sighed and poured herself another glass. Well, she said, that was fun. Rayjun burst into laughter. You're unbelievable. She smiled proudly. That's what they say before they fall in love. He stopped laughing then, just stared at her, the words sinking deeper than she meant. Dinah, he said softly. I think I already am. She froze. Huh. He looked at her with that same calm intensity she'd seen before. You make me feel alive. Her chest tightened. Rayjun, don't joke like that. I'm not joking. For a long moment, they just looked at each other, the silence louder than music. Then Dinah stood quickly, pretending to check her phone. It's late. I should go before I start catching feelings too. He walked her to the car. Neither spoke. When she got in, he leaned slightly toward her window. Dinah. Yeah. Keep the red dress. It's dangerous. Just like you. She smiled faintly. You really want trouble, don't you? Only yours, he said. As the car drove away, Dinah looked at her reflection and whispered to herself, Girl, you're in deep trouble. Later that night, as she posted a selfie from the dinner, Minna was already calling someone on the phone, her voice sharp with jealousy. If he won't listen to me, she said coldly, I'll make sure she disappears from his world. That girl doesn't belong here.